particular operation is Overamped. And the scenario this evening involved a concert. There was a shooter that came through the crowd, and that shooter was pursued by law enforcement and neutralized. The shooter had taken down a number of concert goers, which necessitated fire rescue to respond and perform the active shooter drill. At that moment, we didn't know how many shooters, so law enforcement is providing coverage and protection to the firefighters while they're working through the crowd to identify the condition of the patients and to remove the patients as quickly as possible. There are a lot of players that are assisting us in this event. We're in a makeshift emergency room at the moment, so everybody that's being treated on the scene is being transported to this makeshift hospital. And Orlando Health is one of our players.
In order to be ready, if we don't train together with our pre-hospital personnel, our law enforcement personnel, frankly, the rest of the hospital, we'll never be ready and we'll never do the right thing. So this is so important. It really enhances the experience whenever we can have a monitor that shows real things on the patient or moulage that shows real wounds on the patient. It actually prompts the proper kind of course of action.
We are here with Symmetry. We are doing all of the moulage for this event, so any bullet wounds, any fractures, all of the blood, all of the makeup that makes their wounds actually look realistic and help this training to feel as real as possible. We had some wounds that what we call our compound fractures, and this was one of the recruits that would be doing the car crash scenario, and we wanted it to look as though their bones are sticking out. We had a little bit of a difficulty because it's typically done on a much flatter surface of the leg. However, our artists were able to make it work really well and look like those bones are sticking out from a car crash.
Quick spot right here, but I don't know how deep it is.
The sheriff's role in this activity is basically overall command of the entire operation in conjunction with fire. What we run is like an incident command, so we are in command together. So the sheriff's office has a number of people out here. We focus on the law enforcement response, and fire and hospitals will focus on the medical response. This is very critical for our first responders to train and get better, and it's good for the community because it shows the community that we're not just taking our great training for granted. We're putting it into practice. We're training as a region because we know that if we do respond to one of these incidents, it's going to take the whole region to respond together.
Our community has to be prepared. You train the way you're going to perform in the field. So as a first responder, there's no substitute for training or experience. In order to hedge our bet that during a crisis they're going to perform like they trained, you got to exercise it.
It was the working together that existed all day as these troops were going through different training scenarios all day that culminated with tonight's event. They were meeting and discussing the events with other agency personnel, the very personnel that they're going to work with at a true emergency. I believe it's a success just based on the working relationship that occurred throughout the day.